Let's check over here.
暂时就
What
调
is
查
it,
到这里吧。
Susanna?I'm sorry, Sila. I've wiped down every wall, every inch of the floor, even turned over all the trash cans. But I haven't found as much as a single strand of hair. All I got were fingerprints, and those belong to the same person. Whose fingerprints? I just sent them to the database. We should know shortly. But it should be the warehouse owners, right? That makes sense. How is it Incognito doesn't leave a single clue? They can't be supernatural, can they? There's no such thing, Susanna. Don't be so superstitious. I've lived in Nagazora forever, and only seen zombies and Honkai beasts. If there are still things we don't know about, it's probably mutated Honkai beast or something. What you just described sounds pretty supernatural to me. Oh, Miss Sila, we got a reading from Mark II. The logo on those boxes are from an organization called Neopolis Pharmaceutical. Neopolis Pharmaceuticals. It was then that she recalled another organization's name, a branch of World Serpent, Arc City's Heliopolis Life Sciences. It seemed like the mechas used by Incognito were somehow connected to World Serpent. If those were the same mechas, there would have to be a link. But the organization's name weren't identical. There was a slight difference. There used to be a pharmaceuticals company here in Nagazora with branches all over the city, but after the incidents, there's only one branch remaining. But I had Mark II scan the other boxes. Only the one Miss Sila gave me matched the logo. The logos have different shapes on the other boxes, and some of the boxes are too far gone. There's no way to make out the logo. But those boxes likely come from different business. She fell into deep thought. She had just taken in a lot of information and needed some time to sift through them all. Unlike the grueling fight of her past, now she was hunting for clues, tracking enemies that lurked in the shadows, and trying to take them out before it was too late. This wasn't any easier than combat. In fact, with the responsibility weighing on her shoulders, she was finding it rather difficult. And she had a hunch this isn't going to be the last time she had to take on an assignment like this. You've got this, Sila. You can do this yourself.
没问题的，希儿，你一定能靠自己的力量解决。
Who is it? There was a sudden bang on the warehouse front door that resonated throughout the otherwise silent room. The three all reacted at once, looking at the door. Shoot! A man's voice could be heard coming from the door, then the sound of footsteps running in the distance. Ah, stop! Ah! Susanna? It's okay. I just tripped, it's all. Let's go after him. Right, Sora-chan, you stay here and wait for us to return. The man was quick on his feet, but he was still no match for Sila and Susanna, who blocked his path. You really are Valkyries. You're so fast. Who are you? Why are you running? Are you spying on us? Do I have to answer? I'm sorry, but we're hoping you'll cooperate with our mission. How about we return to the warehouse and chat for a bit? You're back. Who is this? We're not sure yet. We're hoping he'll tell us. He remained silent as he walked across the messy room and found a chair to sit in. What's the meaning of this? I'm sorry we had to force you to come here, but we really need your cooperation here. Can you answer our questions? Do you live in Nagazora? What sort of work do you do? Do you have any specific reason to come here? Do I have to answer? You may be Valkyries from Jigsaw, but that doesn't mean you can just torture someone until you get your answer. I'm just a helpless nobody caught and held captive at a warehouse by 3 Valkyries. If the press hear about this, they'll have a field day. Cute. It's alright, Susanna. If he doesn't want to talk, we'll let him stay silent. One thing is clear, you've been following us and trying to get in our way. Huh? What do you mean? What proof do you have? Oh, we have proof. It's what you said. What I said? More specifically, what you called us. You called us Valkyries from Jigsaw, but how did you know? We never met before. That's right. How did you know we're from Jigsaw? Well, I guess by looking at you. I met Jigsaw Valkyries a few times before. You all have the same uniform. Then you're even more wrong. For everyone here, only Susanna is a regular Valkyrie from Jigsaw. I'm just an anti-Honkai team reserve. And today, none of us are even wearing Valkyrie uniforms. You must have been following us all over town, eavesdropping on our conversations. That's how you knew we were Valkyries from Jigsaw. Alright, I just said what popped into my mind. I was just guessing you were Valkyries, and it turned out I was right. Why are you still talking nonsense? Do you really want to embarrass yourself further? Even if I was wandering around and happened to hear what you were talking about, that's not a crime, is it? You can't detain me for that, can you? No, because you didn't just happen to overhear our conversation. You're a suspect in this investigation. And if I'm not mistaken, your real identity is... You're the warehouse owner. Huh? Could it really be him? I heard the owner is an old man similar to you, and here you're checking on the warehouse, unlike Incognito, which was here last night. That means you're probably the owner. Most important of all, you're clearly very familiar with this warehouse. The steps Susanna tripped over twice, you crossed easily, and you found a seat right away in all the mess. Right, now that I think about it, he moved like he was in his own home. Exactly. After all, this is your own home, no? This doesn't explain anything. I'm just agile and limber when I walk. What, you don't buy it? What's weird about not falling when you walk? And that's not all. There are other things that confirms you're the owner. And that's... From your appearance, or more specifically, your hair. Susanna, remember what you found when you investigated the warehouse? Oh? You said you couldn't find a single strand of hair in the entire warehouse. Right. Incognito's actions were really well thought out. Not a single hair was left behind. But that's not the point. Even if Incognito is careful enough not to leave behind a single strand of hair, the warehouse owner should have. Unless he doesn't have any hair. Sorry. I mean, you do have some sideburns. Sure, it's not watertight proof, but Susanna also found fingerprints, right? They must be the owner's fingerprints. Right, and I should have the result back any second now. Let me see. There, we have a match. Ah, the photo. It's him. Alright, I'll admit it. This is my home. He suddenly stood up and stared at them, angry and dejected. And so what if it is? I was robbed by Incognito. I'm the victim here. Why are you taking this out on me? And it's illegal to enter my house without permission. So get out of here. Go. It's true, we don't have the right to search ordinary citizens' houses. But what if you're not an ordinary citizen? Miss Sila, what do you mean? At first, I was a bit apprehensive when I heard only the young girl who witnessed the crime called the police. Because along with witnesses, the victim should have reported it as well. But the warehouse owner never called the police, so I was worried. Maybe he was kidnapped or in danger. But you are here, alive and well. And that tells me you didn't run into any accident, but chose not to call the police. Right, I didn't know why my warehouse had been robbed, so I didn't report it to the police. Yeah, that's it. But you weren't surprised at all when you entered the warehouse just now. And what do you mean that's it? You even mentioned Incognito by name. You must have witnessed robbery by your own eyes. But why would he keep quiet about being robbed? That doesn't mean... I think that has to do with what was lost. Tell me the truth. What sort of supplies were you sorting here? I didn't lose anything. Do we have to go back to this nonsense again? Really, I didn't. When Incognito came here and saw how poor I was, there was nothing to take. How can that be? Then how do you explain all this empty space? This warehouse was always this empty. And these empty boxes? I love picking up discarded boxes. What's it to you? I don't think so. I can confirm there were goods here. And the proof is... The proof is Mark II. What? Mark II has already seen everything. But Miss Sila, Mark II hasn't said anything. I thought maybe I could bluff a little, but it looks like it didn't work. No, what am I doing? Sorry, that was my mistake. What I meant to say was... Here's the proof. You found it. This note says it all. 2 cases for sale to be frozen. That proves it. You were hoarding these goods, weren't you? About that. I know, those are old notes. The time is written clearly. It's like this. Those are receipts record. I sold the stuff. I didn't lose anything last night. You don't need to keep investigating. Is that right? So to whom? I can have Susanna check it out. So to another city, somewhere else. Is that good enough for you? You won't find it, so why not take it easy? I'm sure people at 6 are awfully busy. You don't need to worry about something like this. Oh, we plan to look into this. No matter how small, it's our duty to check it out. Sir, you're still not telling the truth. Even if you sold it to someplace else, I can still find out where they really went. Because 6 has plenty of resources. I would be able to track every transaction you made in an instant. It's what I wish I could say, but 6 is actually a bit understaffed at the moment. We were on our own here, but you're lying. I can tell, because... We can check the transaction records in the interim security office. Sila, the interim security office is limited to inside Nagazora city limits, so something outside those limits... Right, we can't really rely on them. I should focus on the real issue here. Because of incognito. Incognito? Right. Do you remember how I met up with you this morning, Susanna? Of course, I remember. It still bugs me that I didn't get to see your amazing performance. You took down Incognito's entire mecha blockade by yourself. That's right. Up until this morning, Nagazora was under blockade from Incognito. The attack was just last night. You couldn't have sold any goods from out of the city. And so, please no more lies. The goods here were without doubt taken by Incognito. He wanted to speak again, but caved in, deflated like a punctured tire. But why would he lie about being so clearly robbed? Perhaps because he was storing something he shouldn't have. Huh? Exactly. Perhaps our friend here is stealing goods from major warehouses that were abandoned after the Great Eruption, like Neopolis Pharmaceutical. So he didn't report it, because if Incognito's caught, then he'll be in trouble too. And the proof is this ball. This ball is really a pathetic eye, isn't it? Your specialty is stealing medical supplies and reselling them on the black market, but you didn't expect Incognito to blackmail you, did you? He didn't answer, but his reaction told them everything they needed to know. Ah, well, that clears that up. Now, if you come back with us, we have a lot of questions about Incognito, since you're the only witness. Ding ding ding! An incoming message alert suddenly sounded off. Oh! Wait, this is it! Where is it, Susanna? I set a trap and someone took the bait. Someone has broken into our safe house. Are the mechas blocking our path back? Looks like we'll have to clear them out first. That seems to be it for now. Let's get back to the safe house and check things out.
我们快回安全屋看看吧。
Sila and the rest left behind the wrecked mechas and made their way to the not-so-safe safe house. They pried the door open. These guys aren't exactly subtle. It's a good thing I took all my valuables with me. My Valkyrie guide, my emergency transponder, my cell phone. And sure enough, the place has been raided. Susanna, I remember you saying the interim office lent this place to you. What was it used for originally? It used to be the Nagazora Police Department's examination room, but was abandoned. I got my bio clue analyzer from here. Speaking of, right, the biological information database should still be intact, right? I'll go check. Sounds good. I'll use this time to look around some more.
好，那我也用这段时间调查一下这里。
This place where only a few hours earlier the two had communicated with Jigsaw HQ was now in shambles. But the communication device they had used was still intact. So why would Incognito want to attack this place?
说到底，无帽者为什么要袭击这里呢？
The possessions are damaged, but nothing seemed to be lost. The more valuable-looking equipment is still intact. At least they didn't come for the money.
看来他们的目的至少不是金钱。
What is this?
这究竟是？
This is a severed arm laid on the floor. Sila was shocked at first, but then realized it wasn't a human limb. On closer inspection, she could see it was made of a glossy black metal. Is this a pathetic limb?
这个是
Laying by the door like this, it seems a member of Incognito fell for Susanna's
应该是
trap.
无帽者的成员被苏珊娜
But what's a
准备的陷阱
pathetic
给
limb doing here? Machines can continue to move even after losing their lives. Or rather, from the outset, a machine doesn't need life in order for there to be movement. Even though it was just a lone severed arm, there seemed to be some sort of vitality to it. The mechanical fingers were open as though trying to hold, maybe even covet something. As expected. What is it, Susanna? I went to the storage room to have a look. The database has been destroyed. All the samples and tools have been taken. All that's left is this analyzer. Now, even if we did get fingerprints or a hair sample from a member of Incognito, there'd be no way to cross-reference it. Wait, so this was their motive? But if that's true... At that moment, the door of the safe house opened gently, and Sora walked in. Ah, Sora-chan, you're back. Yep, the thief in the warehouse has been handed over to the police. And I heard the fight here had finished, so I came to join you. So, Miss Sila, did you catch any members of Incognito? They got away. It doesn't seem like they ever wanted a fight. So they came here looking for something too? Oh, now that you mention it. A moment later. Ah, no, that can't be right. These are all the clues we've got. And we didn't find any fingerprints or hair here either, although it'd be difficult to cross-reference them even if we did. Not a single clue. This must be Incognito's MO. But Miss Sela find a pathetic limp, no? So we know Incognito isn't some supernatural force that can disappear without a trace. They can be hurt. Right. I didn't get a strong sense of oppression when I first came to Nagazora or when I fought with Incognito. Well, that's just because you're strong, right, Sela? It's not a question of strength. Their actions haven't seemed to be very well thought out. It's almost as if there are a ton of blind spots for us to catch. But then, why haven't we been able to find where they're at or who they are? At least we're making progress, Miss Sela.
不过，希儿姐姐，至少我们现在不是在原地踏步。